Welcome back, everybody, to Photography Tips and Tricks RC here with our next product spotlight. I need to bring out the big guns.
He's talking about these babies right here. I brought them.
We got Mia McCormick. What's going on, Mia? How are you?
I'm good. What's up?
Tell us a little bit about what's in the bag.
This is a mini guitar. DJI makes it. It's a really cool instrument. No, it is a handheld gimbal-based stabilizer called the Osmo. You might have heard of it. There's been a little bit of buzz out there about it, you know?
Quite a bit of buzz on this.
Yeah.
So, before we start, Axis Gimbal Stabilizer. What kind of problems is this solving for us?
This puts handheld camera stabilization in your hand, right?
Okay, perfect.
So it's a 3-axis gimbal, and what it does is it stabilizes the roll, the tilt, and the pan on the camera. And I've worked with quite a few of these. So I've worked with handheld stabilizers for, with the iPhone, with the GoPro. There's been a long line of these that have come out over the past probably 2 to 3 years. It's a really popular type thing. But this is the first one from DJI. And what I like is it solves a lot of the little quirks and the problems that I've had with some of the other ones. One being that the gimbal almost always, which is this part right here, almost always just hangs loose on all of them. So let's go ahead and take the lens cap off here.
Okay,
put that back in the case.
Okay.
So the gimbal almost always just hangs loose. And that worries me because I'm afraid that this camera, is gonna come apart or that something's gonna break. So this locks. The Osmo locks in 3 places. It locks here, and it locks basically your pan, tilt, and roll axis. So all of those lock. I'm gonna pull the cell phone holder back down here. And this is the last one here. So now everything is kind of hanging loose, but when I put it away, it locks up nice and tight so I don't worry about it getting damaged.
This looks a lot like what you would see on the drones.
Yeah, so this is the exact gimbal. It's called the Zenmuse X3, and it's the exact gimbal and camera combination that you would see on the Inspire 1. So if you've seen any of the footage out of that drone, you know that it's gorgeous. It's beautiful. It even shoots 4K the same way that drone does. So that's something that you have available to you with this camera. If you have the computing power to work with 4K video, you can shoot it right here. Okay,
perfect. So 3-axis gimbal, you have it unlocked. You power it on, and then it just, there you go.
Right, spins around, it does what it does, and it stabilizes itself. And this cell phone holder is really nice to have it integrated right into the device like this. So when you pair it with the DJI Go app, you end up with basically a screen here, an LCD screen that shows you what you're seeing. So it's a viewfinder of sorts, and it allows you to kind of navigate around turns, and you control all the camera settings and everything right from your smartphone.
Okay, and then on the left-hand side on the gimbal, if you turn that around, it looks like you have like a little joystick control and stuff over there.
Right, so I can control the camera. I can move it up. You can see it tilting up there. I can move it down. I can move it left and right.
Okay.
So there's my pan left
right there on your
and
thumb.
right. So it's your tilt and pan controls right there. So they're all really easy to access right here, kind of in the middle. And you can see that the camera's turned off to the side now. And this happens a lot with these gimbal-based stabilizers. They kind of gonna get stuck in an area, or I've moved it really to the area with the joystick. And many times to reset it, what you have to do is turn it off and turn it back on. But DJI has made it super easy with this device where I just hit, there's a little trigger. I don't know if you can see it right underneath here. See where this finger is? This is a trigger that if I tap twice, the camera comes right back to the center and resets, which is a really nice feature. You wouldn't think that it was a big deal, but that's a big deal.
And now, can you use that trigger for other things?
Right, so if I just hold that trigger once, it basically locks the camera and gimbal in place, so I can do things like this. That camera stays steady, even though I'm moving this all around. The camera doesn't tilt up and down. I still have it steady on Arnaldo, our subject right in front of us who's running the camera.
Perfect.
So and if you hit it 3 times, actually, we'll see here, if it'll do it. Selfie mode. Hey RC, how's it going?
What's up? All right.
So it has a selfie mode, which is pretty cool.
You were talking to me earlier when we started about there's like a mic jack on top of this?
Yeah, so there is also a microphone jack. It's a little loud. I can hear it now. I don't know if you can hear it on the mic. So there's a fan in here because there's a lot of processing going on. This gimbal's working really hard. If you're shooting 4K video, the camera's working really hard. So if you want to capture audio, this does capture audio, but it's kind of low. You can plug in an external microphone. There's a mic jack right here. So if you had like a little external lav, there's a 3.5 millimeter mic jack right here that you could just clip on somebody. If you were doing interviews maybe at an event, or maybe your family even, you want to talk to grandpa this Christmas, put a little mic on him.
Okay, so it does 4K video. Quality's really good? Are you having
Yeah,
that
well,
one?
if you've seen the stuff like out of the drone, it's gorgeous. So if you're outside and you're working in bright conditions, it's really, really pretty. The quality of the video is gorgeous. It's got about a 1/2-inch CMOS sensor in it, but when you move indoors, it still looks good, especially if you're viewing it on like a smartphone, but it's a little more noisy in low lit situations. So it's not necessarily the best low light camera. But if you're working in conditions like that, you might think about upgrading. What's kind of neat about this that no other stabilizer really does is that the entire gimbal comes off and you can upgrade to a micro four thirds sensor camera and gimbal that clips on here, and that's more for professional use. So if you're like a beginning filmmaker and you're looking to do work, I think we just ran out of battery on it. Actually, I've been using it all day, so I just ran out of battery. So if you're a beginning filmmaker, this is a great device to start with that micro four thirds camera and gimbal.
Okay, great. Now, in terms of battery life, you just mentioned the battery life. What are you getting about that?
Right, so the claim is it runs about an hour.
Okay.
I'd say it's a little generous.
Okay.
But it's definitely something that could be improved. I'd love for it to last longer. I'd love to be able to go out. There's no way you're going to be able to go out all day with a gimbal stabilizer like this, but I'd love to have a little bit more time out of the battery.
Okay.
So.
How's it felt overall? Just like, is it just the kind of out
really
of the box
light.
thing?
Oh, it's nice because it's really lightweight. You turn it on right out of the box and it goes right to work. So there's no learning curve. There's no understanding how to use it. It just works perfectly. You just have to hold it, and it only weighs about a little over a pound. So here, hold it. It's a really lightweight device. Now that the battery's dead, you can
that's totally fine, but it doesn't feel that bad. Now it's got the joystick and it's got this. What's this bottom button?
Right. So it has a shutter button and a record button on it. So you have two separate: a dedicated movie button and then a dedicated shutter button because it takes photos as well.
Okay, so now I think I can do 12 megapixels.
Yeah, it's a 12 megapixel sensor,
which is pretty good.
Right, and it goes right to a micro SD card that goes in the camera right here. So that's what it records to. Even though you have it paired to your smartphone, it records to the camera.
Okay, so 4K footage, nice outside, about a pound.
Yeah, super
pairs
lightweight.
with your phones, lightweight. This sounds like it's good. If you're looking to kind of get started with 4K footage or get started with footage that's smooth.
Any kind of handheld video. So whether you're chasing your kids or whether, like I said, you're a beginning filmmaker and you're trying to add some more dynamic movement to your videos, this is the way to go. So it fits kind of the needs of the amateur as well as the beginning kind of budding professional as well.
Nice, nice, nice. All right, so for more information on this, if you want to order one of these, make sure you go to B&H. You can find everything at B&H. Go to B&H and search for the DJI Osmo. You can order this now. Thanks so much for stopping by. Thank you, Mia, for bringing this on the show. And we'll see you guys soon. Take care.